I'm officially quarantined in 10 meters squared. Yay! Hey au pairs, it's Edwina, and I figured given the hard times and the weird times, I would sit down and record a video. This was completely unplanned, but I feel it's really important to talk about what's going on with COVID-19 and what to do and answer some of your most frequently asked questions that we've gotten on Instagram. If I don't respond, or if you want more information updated day to day, you can go on our Instagram, auPairs.com, and follow me and the community there. But for now, I'm going to answer your top 5 questions about the coronavirus in France and in Europe and what you should be doing to help yourself. So first things first, let's talk about this situation in France. Over the last 3 days, it's gotten progressively more and more intense, I would say. It kind of started on Friday. All schools were shut as of Monday. On Saturday night, all bars and restaurants are shut. And as of Monday, Tuesday, today, people are being advised to stay indoors as much as possible. Now, nothing is mandatory. For example, I went out and got groceries this morning. I also went and did my laundry, but I was kind of preparing for the worst in that I think within the next couple of days, week, maybe, worst case scenario is that we can't leave at all anymore and we're gonna have to get a ticket or some sort of system will be organized so that when we leave, people know and we have a reason for leaving and we have proof to go to the grocery store, and fines will be applied if we go out for an unnecessary reason. Hello, Editing Edwina here. Just want to say, since 4 days ago, when I filmed this video originally, things have gotten more strict. Just yesterday, I went out to go for a run. You're supposed to have this piece of paper that says why you're going out. You can only go out to exercise, for a medical emergency, to go shopping for food, or to walk your dog. And I didn't go out because I was kind of living a risky life. I was like, they won't stop me. And I did get stopped, and I just played it off and had a really strong American accent when I spoke to them in French so that they would just let me go. All that to say, you have to carry around your piece of identity with you at all times and have your attestation de dérogatoire, which I will link down below if you are still in France and need to go outside for something. Okay, back to the video. Now that's what has happened in Italy. They're talking about doing that in Spain, and they're also talking about doing that in France right now. So honestly, in terms of what you can do to prepare for the worst. If you live alone, if you live out of your host family's house, stock up on pasta, potatoes. I have canned tuna, I have canned chickpeas. Chickpeas always go out of stock because they're the best and everyone wants them. But if you get beans, they're not out of stock. And everyone got obsessed with buying toilet paper, so I bought some, but I think that I'll be quite all right for the next literally 2 months. But honestly, prepare for at least 14 days of being quarantined. And when you go to the grocery store, people are already taking measures and staying 6 feet away from each other, at least in my arrondissement. So the next question that we got super frequently is, what do you do if you get sick? Obviously, this is super important. If you have any symptoms whatsoever, tell your host family and tell your support system in France. Just let people know and keep people updated. I think the most important thing to do right now is to stay connected. Call your family and friends at home, check up on their health, stay connected for your mental health, especially if you're trapped in a place all alone. Let your family know if you are sick, and if you didn't know, number to call for Anglophones in Europe, the universal emergency number is 112, and that's where you'll get more specific instructions as to what to do based on the situation. In terms of, obviously, hospitals are overflowing, they're becoming more overflowed, and to be honest, as a young person, we're obviously more safe than an older person, but the reason why everyone is being quarantined is because we can contract the virus, not show any symptoms as young people, and then we're really just trying to protect everyone else. So even if you are, or have a great immune system and all that stuff, and you're not nervous about getting the virus at all, you could be saving a life by staying at home. It's really not about you, it's about the greater good and the greater community. So just be mindful of that when you're thinking about precautions to take. But yeah, call 112 if you have symptoms and lean on your host family and your French support system or your support system here in Europe. Another topic that I want to address is your mental health during this time. We're going to be indoors for a long time, 14 days minimum. Who knows if we'll be forced to stay at home for longer than that. Personally, if you live alone like I do, I like to establish a routine during a time like this. Luckily, for those of you in France, we went through this earlier with the grève, so we know what to do, or we have hopefully some sort of experience with no transport and having to stay home all day. For me, I've been finding it really nice to go on virtual dates, so I've kind of been acting like everything's normal, and I'll ask people on my Instagram if they want to have lunch or dinner over FaceTime, and it's been like such a blessing. I'm so lucky that we have technology so that I can stay connected. I honestly, other things that I do are write 3 positive, grateful things that I'm grateful for in the morning, and then at night 3 great things that happened in the day, and that really helps me stay positive and reshape the experience in my head. Rather than saying, oh, I have to stay home all day, I say, okay, what does this give me the opportunity to do? For today, for example, I get to do my taxes, which I haven't had time to do, but now I have tons of time to do it. And I also get to talk to a lot of people who I don't normally have time to talk to, so that's super amazing, and I'm staying really positive. If you're having trouble staying positive, the APOP community on Au Pair Au Pairs on Instagram or on the open forum can help you with that. Check out our website for more information. Another weird thing that I do that I've been finding really helpful is instead of staying in my pajamas all day, I'll get up, I'll do a workout right away to get those endorphins running, and then I'll literally get dressed and get ready as if it is a full day and walk down my 7 flights of stairs and then walk back up and act like my apartment is a new place and it's like where I get my work done. So I'm really lucky. I feel like I found some sort of balance. But yeah, if you have a tip, write it down below, because I'm sure we could all use some sort of tips to stay positive during this really difficult time. Okay, the next question is about travel and about if you can travel and when you can travel again. So basically, the quarantine for now is up to 14 days, but it could go on much longer. People have been saying 4 weeks, people have been saying 8 weeks, so honestly, like I said, prepare for the worst. In terms of travel for next year, the au pairs that I know of are planning on going along as normal, as if next year will happen. Hopefully the coronavirus is under control by then, but obviously there's always a risk. I think my advice is to just act like by September, this next school year, things will be normal. So if you're looking for a family for next year, look right now. There are families that are still looking. I mean, things are really new right now, so everyone's attention is on quarantine and everything, but once things kind of settle and people get more used to what's happening, I would say there's no harm in starting your family search right now, and then through the summer as well. We don't know how long this will last, but as we say, flatten the curve, so it will slow down, hopefully. There will be fewer cases, but this is why we're quarantining, to slow down the virus, not to eliminate it. There's no promises that it will be eliminated, but it's really just to slow it down. And I'm gonna try to keep you updated, as I said, on Instagram, where I can be more up to date about it. But for how long, I have no idea, but I would continue on as normal, basically, and try to think of next year, not cancel any projects for next year. Like now, obviously we can't work and we can't see each other, but this is a precaution taken so that we can continue normal life in the future. And hopefully we can continue normal life in the future one day. So the next question is, how much can I work? This is a super important question right now because au pairs, you're living with the family, a lot of people. So, and actually, if you're living with the family, let us know how that's going and how you're managing your schedule down below so that you can help the au pairs in the community. But in terms of working, it's really something that you if there was ever a time to be more communicative, it is right now. I mean, it brings me back to when I first became an au pair. It was over the summer, and one of my biggest regrets was that I wasn't communicative enough about me being tired, me asking for a day off. Remember that year host parents, like, this might be a surprise, but spending all day with their kids is not something they're used to either. They go to work and then their kids go to school, so it's a really weird situation for everyone. So make sure you sit down and come up with a strict plan with your host family. I would say that it's really hard when your family says, oh, we'll just take it as it goes, because I think that I would prefer, from experience, it always works out better when you have a stricter schedule and when you know when you're gonna have off. Mentally speaking, it helps you ration out your energy if you know that, you know, in 2 days you'll have off versus asking for a day off, you know, out of nowhere. So I personally would sit down with my host family and really communicate and try to come up with those hours. Now, how many hours? Unfortunately, you're probably going to be working more than 25 hours a week. And normally, as au pairs, I would say advocate for yourself, push for 25 hours a week. That's the legal minimum or maximum rather. But this is a really weird time, and I just think that host families and au pairs have to come together and come up with some sort of plan, because you shouldn't be with the kids all day, but you might be needed for more than 25 hours a week. So yeah, again, let me know how you're managing that with your host families, because it's going to be different for everyone, and we would just want to make sure that people aren't being abused. It's kind of one of those things where you have to kind of go off of your feeling, and some people have closer relationships with their host families than others and can be more honest than others. So how are you dealing with that? Let us know. And again, this is like such a great time to be kind of with an agency, because if you don't feel that you can advocate for yourself, this is one of those times where your agency can step in and advocate for you. So if you don't know, we have a sponsor agency called Au Pair Au Paris. I'll link them down below, and they're still looking for au pairs to take in for summer and for the school year next year. So if you want to apply to be an au pair for that time, definitely go on their website. I'll link it down below. And they're really great at advocating for au pairs. So there you go. That's all for now. Like this video if you think it helped you, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from us. It really helps us. Just liking this video and commenting is the best way to support our channel and what we do. And I've been FaceTiming Hannah pretty much all day, every day. Unfortunately, it'd be weird to do a video together with her on the computer and me in real life. Thank you so much for asking your questions on Instagram, and I hope you guys have an amazing quarantine and stay positive. All right, ciao for now. Bye.